feel like I flopped. And I'm not talking about on some social media shit. I'm not talking about on some financial shit. I'm talking about like spiritually inside flopped. Like, I just like stopped taking care of myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just had to let myself go for real. You know? And so I'm like, let's play a game. You know, like, let's make this a thing. Let's make this a thing to where I'm exiting out of this era where I just like let myself just like, ugh, you know? Because when you let yourself go in the way that I have, it reflects in so many different ways. Like, it reflects in your relationships with people. It reflects in, you know, your work, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. It affects everything around you. So I'm just like, I want to get that together. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, how can I exit out of this era? There's a few things, right? There's a lot of things, but I want to talk to you guys about two. Okay. The first one is I want to start giving more. You know, like, I want to start doing things for people that have nothing to really do with me monetarily. You know, like, I want to go out of my way for somebody, but I want to do things that, quote unquote, may seem like an inconvenience to my life, but it's helping somebody out, you know, or making somebody feel good. Today, I'm going to take my niece to get her nails done. She has a cheer competition tomorrow, and I want to, you know, make sure my girl look right. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it starts with the nails. For me, it starts with the nails. So I'm going to take her to McDonald's. We're going to eat for a little bit, and then we're going to go get her nails done. And it's just making me feel so good. I've been thinking about it all week. And when I text my aunt saying, hey, I'm going to pick her up and take her to get her nails done, it just made me feel so good. It made me feel like I was doing something. And of course, I am doing something for somebody that I love, but it brought me so much out of my own head and my own shit. And it makes me feel like I'm needed, you know? And it also makes me feel like I'm giving to my younger self. You know, I remember times where adults made me feel like an individual, you know, like their attention was on me for that moment. I remember those times very vividly, and I want to give it to somebody else. You know, I want to show a child that they are an individual, like their voice is you know, is heard, you know, their needs are met, you know, and it just makes me feel good. So that's the first thing. That's the first way I'm going to exit out of my flop era. Another way is by saying no. So with giving being my first duty, of course, there are going to be things that I'm going to have to let go. You know, there are going to be more things that I'm going to have to say no to. And I feel like there are a lot of things that I've agreed to out of insecurity, out of wanting validation from a certain demographic of people. The male gaze was so important to me. And I try to tell my girlfriend, this is off topic, but I try to tell my girlfriend that you don't specifically have to be attracted to men. I am attracted to men, but yeah, depends on the day. Okay. Today, maybe on Sunday I'll be attracted to them, but not today. But you don't specifically have to be attracted to men to want to appeal to the male gaze. Society has built us up to want approval from men, whether you're attracted to them or not. So I try to explain that to her. So it has nothing to do with me wanting to be in a relationship with any of these men. When I have their approval, it felt so affirming, like I needed it at the time. So I was agreeing to be in spaces and to be in things and to be around people because I needed to feed myself in that way. And then now I don't have that desire. So now that I don't have this desire to be attractive to them, I don't have this desire to be in these spaces anymore. I've come to the point where I'm saying no to more things. You know, I'm saying, I'm really feeling like my time is now better spent in other places. You know, in this world, especially now, like we have so many options. You know, there are so many things to do. And when I finally realized that, like, oh, I don't need to do this. I can do something else that makes me feel better, that makes me feel more loved, and the love feels long lasting and it doesn't feel conditional. It doesn't feel like, oh, I have to wear this dress or I have to dress this way. I have to do my makeup this way to feel validated. Like I just am. Like there are spaces that exist like this, you know? So now I'm just like, oh, like I get to say no to things and replace that time with things that actually make me feel good. And a lot of times that's when I'm around women, to be honest. Like you're not going to get me out of the house if the function isn't majority women or the gays. You're just not going to get me out like that. I don't want to be in spaces where there's a sausage fest. I don't want to do it. It's not fun. But like I said before, I was like, okay, like where the niggas at? And there's nothing wrong with where the niggas at, because the niggas be fine. Okay? Then some of the niggas be fine. But like if you're in those spaces just because you need your cup filled and you're just like wanting or needing the attention and the approval, that's when it kind of gets a little dangerous, right? Because let me just tell you this. Don't ever rely on a nigga to fill up your cup. Never. Never. Come with your cup full, and if he starts pouring more, okay, let the water runneth over. And when I say nigga, that's gender neutral. Exiting my flop era consists of give and take. I'm going to need things to go in circles. You know, I'm going to need an exchange. Okay? Because for too long, it was too much this, and sometimes too much that. And then sometimes too much this, and sometimes too much that. I'm going to need it to flow. We're going to need to go back and forth. Give, take, give, take, give, take. Because I don't want neither one of us to be mad, you know, because you're giving too much and I'm taking too much. Or I'm giving too much and you're taking too much. I'm going to need this to flow. I'm going to need this to keep coming around. Okay? So yeah. We gonna get right, baby. We gonna get right. And this is fun. Like, I'm gonna make this like a fucking board game or some shit. Exiting my flop era. You know? But like I said, there's more things on this list, but I think this was more interesting. Because of course it's like, get a morning routine, get a nightly routine, drink some water, go on a walk. Like, dear, we get it. Like, let's really fucking talk about how, like, a lot of us are spending time in places where we don't really fucking want to be. And we don't know that there are options. We don't have to be here right now. We could be somewhere else and it making us feel good. Or let's talk about the fact that, when was the last time you did something for somebody and didn't ask for anything in return? We sometimes underestimate how good that can make us feel. Don't you guys find that to be more interesting than our morning routine, our nightly routine?